You know, the universe really works in like special ways. Kutoka
Yeah.
chuo, and then Ian ndo ametu reunite juicy.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Mm.
I don't think there are coincidences in life. I think there are patterns in this universe, and yeah, I think sometimes we separate, but at some point, because of our own vibrations or where we are in our life, we find ourselves pulling towards each other, and here we are again.
My guy. Nini kufanya kwanza uingie into movies? Because it's not something you ulikuwa unado uni.
No, it's not something I was doing in uni. It's something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid. Nakumbuka nikiwa class 2. I used to love Tom Cruise na Mission Impossible. So I remember this one time our class teacher asked all the students in the class what they want to do, what they want to be when they grow up. And everyone was saying they want to be a lawyer, a mechanic, an engineer. So when it came to me, I told them I want to be an actor. And I remember the whole class laughed. And the teacher told me that I should find a much serious.
How sad.
Yeah. But here I am. I think it's always been pulling to me. I've always loved watching movies, just like you. Quentin Tarantino. I never knew he made Pulp Fiction. So that's something new to me. Yeah, I've always loved movies, and I want to see where that can take me. I've always wanted to find an avenue to express my own creativity, my own research, and I feel like film is the best way or the creative way somebody can, I think, for me, to channel that energy.
Definitely. But do you think the policies that have been placed in Kenya right now, especially with that Kenya KFCB, do you think we'll be at full freedom to just produce what we want? Ama saa zingine we'll just have to go rebellious all the way up until we get our point through?
Okay, tell me more about that.
The idea is there are some films that hawezi produce ukiwa Kenya, you see, because of certain restrictions. They have to align with the principles and policies of the government.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
So that's what I mean by KFCB licensing and stuff like that.
So a few examples of what kind of content they've, let's say, banned from being viewed.
Okay, as in mostly those movies that appear like sexually explicit. So
okay.
kidogo wamekuja wakiweka, but however, if I'm going to take part in a movie, a film project, I'm not going to make anything sexualized, overly sexualized. Personally, I think sex scenes in movies is really irrelevant. Oh, haina noma, si tunaendelea tu. So personally, I think sex scenes in movies is really, really irrelevant.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
Because the act of sex itself does not contribute to a story in any shape or form. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Exactly. Like they can, if a sex scene like has to happen, like they can just, they don't have to show you the sex scene as in these people kissing nini. Wanaweza kakuonyesha tu maybe a silhouette of two people making out and then wameenda and then the camera pans out.
But they don't have to show all the details.
Exactly. It takes time.
I do agree with that.
That 30 seconds to 1 minute of footage, you could have easily done something else with it, you see? So fine, but me personally, where I think KFCB wataleta shida is if Africans make movies that will depict the white man in a bad nature. That's when I think the lights will have gone red and they will tell you, you're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
That's what I think. In the sense that, hypothetical, let's say, in that project we are in together, Like there's a very controversial point where an African stands over a family from the royal, what do you call them? The British royal family, before he kills them. You get, now, in your perspective, do you think something like that they can just allow to go out?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're living in new times. So
Orwellian times.
Orwellian times. Okay, I've never heard that term before. But yeah, we are living in new times, and I think that we don't know what can pass nowadays. Some things. I think we should just take the risk and see where it can take us. Yeah.
So Orwellian, do you know what Orwellian means?
No.
It's derived from George Orwell. George Orwell is known. Have you read that book called, is it 1886? 1986 or 1886? 1886, something like that, by George Orwell. George Orwell is the same guy who wrote The Animal Farm. You've read about The Animal Farm?
No.
So in this book, he talks of a future, a dystopian, in dystopian times, where there is totalitarian. That fucking word fucks me up. Totalitarian. What do you say?
Totalitarian. You're saying
There
it the
you
right
go.
way. Yeah.
Totalitarian. Nah, hiyo jina kiasi messes up my mouth. In a totalitarian state, sawa? Where the government spies on people, where the government has weaponized words, there are certain words you're not supposed to use, and then there's double speak everywhere, meaning the ministry of love is the one that is torturing people. The ministry of information is the one that is spreading misinformation. So that is double speak. So language, what George Orwell is trying to tell people is that in his future, or in his perception of the future, that the world will be a confused place where only a few people will control people. I mean, a few people will control the whole globe, you see? And they will weaponize language like what we're seeing today. It's not fat, it's plus size. They are beautiful, you know? That's what the term, like, we are living in Orwellian times. That's what he speaks, because everything he said is happening now. This guy in 1870s, actually it's 1886, yeah, that's the book. So in 1870s, predicted that the government will be watching you from screens, like from TV.
Big Brother is watching.
There you go. Now you know it. Big Brother, it's Big Brother now.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen that shit? How do you know Big Brother is watching? Because Big Brother is part of that Orwellian book.
No, I haven't. Okay.
Then how do you know Big Brother is watching?
I think that term is just quite famous and quite common.
Yeah, so Big Brother is the main character in that, what's it called? He's now the tyranny.
Oh,
that's why you hear Big Brother is watching. Go read that book, bro.
Okay.
Go read that book.
I didn't know. I think that's where they want to develop smart cities. Because once you have smart cities and everything goes online, there's no way you can go against what the system or the government wants you to do, because everything they can lock you out of your own house, out of your own car, out of your own what can I say? I mean, there's so many things they can do, out of your own phone. So yeah, I see the way the world is going in the future. If we choose to externalize more than we internalize, what I mean by internalization is when we externalize, we are just looking for solutions, or we're observing reality from an outside perspective. So basically, I'm just trying to see things from the outward experience instead of taking everything in and trying to interpret it from my own understanding. So why I'm saying this, I can lean back to artificial intelligence and let's say how science is moving, I think, right now. If you look at some of the things, maybe like let's say Musk is creating like the what's it called again?
Neuralink.
Yeah, the Neuralink. I mean, yeah, it's a good advancement, I think, in science. But also, I think human beings should start exploring the natural side, whereby we should maybe start questioning, maybe what if our body or ourselves, we can actually heal ourselves. Like, we don't even need these artificial devices. What if our brain, instead of creating those, because now you hear he has new gadgets where you can heal the blind people. Blind people can actually see. What if we're living in a time where it's possible to actually maybe even heal your eyes or even heal your ears? Could that be possible?
Do you know how I look at it? Do you know, have you heard of the placebo effect?
Mm-hmm.
I think self-healing can happen with placebo effect.
Yeah, it can.
Can it?
Yeah, it can. Because if you look at most esoteric teachings, when it comes to healings, imagination plays a big role. The way you think plays a big role on your manifestation capabilities. So I think in the future, the way we use our thoughts or the way we think is going to be very, very important. I think there's going to be a science or a method people are going to discover on how we can use our imagination in a way that it can favor ourselves, and even on a macro level, it also favors society. For example, maybe I can give one good example. This I learned from, there's a center called Pranic Healing Foundation. They are centered at Parklands. They teach a healing modality that was founded by a man known as Master Chua Koksui.
Mm-hmm.
He already passed away. So Master Chua Koksui founded Pranic Healing with the studies of, he studied the Tibetan teachings, Theosophy, Rosicrucian, all these mystery schools. The reason why I say mystery schools are schools where they teach the laws of nature. They've always existed in all cultures. So he collected all these healing modalities, and he found the safest healing modality, whereby the healer himself won't get infected by the sick person's energy or their own thought forms, if I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I came to learn about energy systems and the healing system. Okay, I can't remember where I was going with this conversation.
We're talking about how the future will play a huge role when you come to thoughts.
Oh yeah, when it comes to thoughts. So through that class, because they also teach you how to heal. There are 5 levels. So they have basic, they have advanced, they have psychotherapy, they have crystal healing, and psychic defense for home and office. So we have only done 4 levels. But with the healing modality, especially when it came to the second level, I came to realize imagination plays a big role, because you actually have to project your own thought forms on the healer. Like we play around with colors. There are different types of healing. Some people use sound, some people use colors, some people use medicines like ayahuasca and iboga, and the psychedelic movement as well. So for pranic healing, they use prana, and they also use colors as well. So imagination. So that's when I came to realize imagination actually plays a big role. So for me, myself, I don't know. Nowadays, even my own prayers, myself, I use words less. I use imagination more. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I would imagine myself being illuminated with, let's say, brilliant white light. Like I'm being showered by brilliant white light. That's my own, how can I say, form of prayer itself. Because white light itself has a very healing effect to it. So each and every different color has a healing property to it. And it's attributed to each and every energy center we have in our physical body. So for example, if I want to use one of the most, if you even just look in physics, remember the spectrum of light? Or just the one with the with the highest vibration, it was violet, ultraviolet, and then with the lowest was red. Right?
Okay.
So even that's the same thing with our energy centers. If I want to get red to heal a patient, I will get it from my root chakra. If I want to use violet, the highest frequency, highest vibration, I get it from my crown chakra. So it just shows you how everything correlates one with another.
Can that explain why personally as me, I'm attracted to like some colors?
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
But you can explain like what color?
I don't know, for some weird reason, bro, I just find myself attracted to red and blue.
Red and blue.
Red and blue. Everything of mine has to have a red in it. Or not, if not red, then it's a blue. Or not blue,
Okay.
then it's yellow. Especially now you've seen all the branding in my YouTube page is yellow.
Yeah.
So according to those colors, what vibrations do they bring?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
But back to your thought, the future of the thought stuff. Again, George Orwell talked about the future of your thoughts being controlled. He talked about the thought police. Do you see how this guy was ahead of his time?
The thought police.
Yeah, there are police who will capture you in this dystopian imagination of his by you thinking differently. That's a crime. So not only will the government spy on you, not only will the government control your love.
So they'll be able to see your thoughts.
Not necessarily, but not how he put it. He put it in a way that you won't be allowed to think freely. There will be a thought police. Yes, everyone is thinking the same, but no one wants to call it out.
Okay, do you know there's something interesting? Okay, so this goes back to my studies of theosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we have something called an egregore. Maybe if I can spell it, it's E-R, E-G, egre, E-G-R-E, go, G-O-R-E. So an egregore is basically a thought entity. It's something I also learned from pranic healing as well. So each and every thought that you actually think is actually a living entity. How is that possible? So for example, right now we're living in the physical dimension, right? This is the physical plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way I can exist in this physical plane is because I have a physical body, right? So this is Owen, right? But at some point when I die, I will leave Owen here, right? So basically what that means is this is just a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And this vehicle, everyone has a different vehicles. It's like how somebody can have a Range Rover or a Land Rover. Mine in this lifetime, I've chosen Owen. And Owen will look like this. And this is the vehicle I used to move in the physical dimension. Now, beyond the physical dimension, there's a dimension called the astral dimension. In the astral dimension, you use the emotional body. That's where all your feelings, all your desires are. And so when you find your dreams are always attributed towards your own desires. What you're basically thinking throughout the day will contribute to what you will dream about. And that's the body that you normally use. So it's normally you find it's the outer layer on your physical body. So you have the etheric body here, then you have the astral body. Then you have the mental body above. So your mental body constitutes of now your own thought forms, the things that you always keep on thinking about. And those thought forms, you remember the law of attraction, how people attract things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you attract people in your life or circumstances, based on your own thought forms. So you find in the mental plane, you find things are repelling and attracting towards each other based upon people's desires.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually our auras are interacting, and then you find you're pulling scenarios or situations in your life based on what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So you come to realize we are truly the creators of our own life. So if thought forms are actually real, so think about if me and you, let's say like elite studios, right? Do you know that's actually a thought form? There's an aggregate, it's a living entity in the mental plane. If let's say you left your body, you went to the astral dimension, to the mental dimension, you will find elite studio, a living entity of elite studio, which is a contribution of your thought form and everyone's thought form who's contributing towards that idea or that ideal. So that's the same thing when it comes to how countries are formed, schools are formed.
It's like when you go to that different dimension, you will find this thought process has conscious now.
Yes, it has conscience. Yeah, and that's why they always say when you have an idea, when it's small, always keep it silent. Why? Because when it's young and the idea is very young, when you tell people who don't have, maybe they can't think, or they're not as ambitious as you are, or maybe they're just negative people, they can send negative thought forms towards that idea, which makes it even harder for you psychologically to even manifest that idea. But that only is determined by your willpower. If you have strong enough willpower, as people's thoughts or opinions won't matter. But in general, they normally say it's better to just keep it silent. Also, what was I saying? So with the egregores, the more people feed on one thought form, the higher the egregore becomes. So if you're controlling people's thought forms, you're making it difficult for them to revolt. That's why you find when it comes to communist countries, like let's say North Korea, you find they're not even allowed to even have any religion. They have to, I don't know, maybe we can Google North Korea.
No problem.
But I'm pretty sure
North Korea do not have a religion. They're not allowed to worship anything.
Yeah, they're not allowed to worship.
See, I thought, what's the father of Kim Jong-un? What's the name of the father of Kim Jong-un? He used to declare himself God. So I don't think they have a religion.
So in the mental plane, it has a very powerful thing, because once you're able to control people's thoughts, they only you're directing them to feed on one particular thought form. So if that's what George Orwell is talking about, I think that's where maybe the system is trying to lean, move us towards that, I think.
And personally, if you thought about even Neuralink as is, can it actually leak what you're thinking? I don't think so. Because thought,
what you're thinking.
Thought is like saying extracting someone's thought is like saying a doctor trying to extract someone's soul. A doctor can't remove someone's heart, and probably that person would die, but you can't see the soul. You get it? So I'm still conflicted on that. I just don't see the feasibility of it.
Yeah.
You see? So there's something I wanted to tell you in regards to what you've talked about, that Gregor having a conscience in this other dimension. There's this game Billy Carson was talking about that high school, college kids made. It's a game that has no end. It has infinity characters and infinity dimensions. Now they're going to introduce AI to this game. So every character there can have like its own, conscience.
Okay.
Now you get, it's like a whole balanced ecosystem.
Okay.
How do you understand the dangers of that? Okay, it's not even dangerous. It's just that I believe that game will actually come and show people that, by the way, the concept of God is not too far-fetched. I don't know if you're getting where I'm going. I've forgotten the name. I was actually just trying to search it right now. It's just that I cannot multitask. I like being here. You get? But that game has like different characters. You can play it differently. It doesn't have one way of ending. It can end in, I don't know.
Multiple ways.
It's the same.
They were saying gaming is going to be the next film. It's going to be the next as big as film industry, based upon how AI can give you multiple choices on how you want the game to end.
Bro, I already think it's bigger than the film.
It's really bigger than the film.
Definitely, it's bigger. Bro, gamers. Do you know what killed the film industry? Streaming, bro.
Oh yes, during COVID time.
Bro, you know, cinema had a culture. Like people would go to the cinema and watch it as a whole. Hakuna story ya piracy, nothing. Right now, bro, we are all introverts. Who wants to go to a movie? Kila mtu ako na OCD zake na nini. So we just rather just wait for the nini pirate itoke tuende tuipirate, download story imeisha. You see, so your culture right now, I would easily bet my money. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I would easily.
But there's some guys you'd want to go and get the cinema experience from. Like for me, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
Oh, definitely.
I wish I went to experience it in the cinema.
Definitely. Yeah. But you see, what my plan is, I want to plan and buy a projector.
Oh, a projector.
Once you have a projector and some nice headphones, that's it, bro. Like me, I'm talking proper headphones, like some at least Beats or some nice Sony headphones.
Okay.
Especially even Sony headphones. Sony headphones can give you, like this model, it's it goes for $300. So, but that thing is quality. Like you can even feel like it has 8D sound.
8D sound.
Do you know 8D sound, bro?
Wait, so sound actually has dimensions to it.
Even sound has dimensions to it.
Okay, that's very interesting.
So it's like technically, if like some keys were dropped in the scene behind someone, like you could feel actually keys being dropped behind you.
Oh, okay.
That's how detailed it is.
Okay. I think I want to go and research more about sound having dimensions. I've never thought about that.
Sound has dimensions. Even right now, I think it's China. Their movies is 7D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, something, just okay. It's something like what TRM had. You remember those days what TRM had? Those, was it 4D films?
TRM.
Where you go through. Okay, have you ever been through this simulation? This film simulation where like it goes up as in, what do you call it? Like you can see the movie, where the movie is going. It's like a simulation. The movie is 3D, yes, but it's like the cinema has added effects. Like if it's raining, you'd feel something. You've been there, bro?
No, I haven't been
Kuna moja ilikuwa TRM. It was called, was it a 7D movie theater?
Oh, yes, I have.
Exactly.
I have.
Mbona unajifanya? That's the one I'm trying to say. So,
okay.
Yeah, kitu kama hiyo.
The one when you even have the roller coaster, the chairs
yes,
even
thank
moving.
You. Yeah. That's the one I'm trying to explain.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to look for the right words to articulate that. Immersiveness, that's the word. You feel like immersed because now if the film you're looking at is snowy, you can feel like you're in that snowy environment. No. But here to TRM, it was on a very low scale. Yeah, it's, you know, when you're talking about the Chinese, is I think the people who fucked up the Chinese name are the people who went there. The Kenyans who went there, Kwanza, wakanunua cheap products wakaileta hapa. Those are the guys who fucked up the Chinese name for us.
Oh, so there's some good products there.
Dude, there's some great products there.
Okay.
I can't wait to go to China. Have you been?
No. I was actually planning to go this October for the fair, the October fair.
In China?
Yeah, in China. Okay. Yeah.
I know, but I would really like to go to China. And the first thing I'm going to do when I go to China is make my own shoes, bro.
Your own shoes?
Yeah, my own sneakers.
Where?
Trust me, there are places. There are thousands and thousands of places where you can make like your own shoe.
Your own custom shoe?
Yeah. In fact, you can even go and tell them, I want like Jordans, but mine.
And you choose the material, everything.
And it's actually, it comes out authentically.
And you can choose the material, like this is the material.
Bro, I'm not even going to lie. I'm even going to go and buy knockoff Nikes there. Because their knockoffs are like good to actually the great ones. You get it? Because even Nikes produce their shoes from there. It's either there or Vietnam. You get?
Yeah, true.
And I'd be damned if I give Nike any of my money, bro. I think the level of awakening I've gotten is I don't want to give any big corporate my money. I want to have their things, but not really. Like right now, I would not buy fake shoes. So, however, I would go for Mtumba shoes. Those are original. I would get nice original Nikes for like 3,500. I'm a 4,000 at best. I'm even 5,000. I even don't mind. But at least they're original. Nacheki. They're mtumba, but they're original. Wakona bragging rights. Do you know the squeak test?
The speak test.
The squeak.
The squeak test.
Mm.
No. Oh, that's how you
Yeah,
know
the
the
rubber.
original ones are there.
Yeah. So the ones that are fake just keep sliding.
Okay. I've never owned any Nike shoe. In fact, I owe my sister, my small sister, some Nike
How come,
shoes.
bro, and you're an athlete?
Oh, yes, okay. Yes, I have owned Nike
Come on,
shoes.
man.
Yes, I have. No, sneakers. I mean
Sneakers, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lakini sneaker culture imekuwa like just part of an Islando thing, so itakupata tu.
Yeah, I do want to get some. My small sister has influenced me. In fact, I need to buy for her. I owe her for her birthday.
But if you want the best sneakers, timeless sneakers, Air Force Ones, they will never run out of fashion. And they can literally go with anything. And they can even be your everyday shoes.
Yeah, the white ones.
Even the black ones.
The black ones.
Ama you can get two, the white and the black. Those an original pair will set you back $200.
$200.
No, sorry. No, an original of plain whites of plain blacks will cost you 75 ama 60 to 75. Same as the white, but those custom ones maybe zitafika $200. Kuna time I go into shopping, bro. Even put my name on it, fantasize kidogo, and then just close that tab. Get back to reality.
Okay.
So earlier on, you talked about Lucifer and Satan. You said that this could be two different people. And I told you, hold up, but hastaki kuisikia. Sema hiyo stuff kwa podcast.
Sema hiyo stuff kwa podcast.
Haya, sema sahi.
Okay, so yeah, earlier on we were speaking about Lucifer and Satan. Yeah, it's a very controversial topic, I think, in general. So yeah, Lucifer and Satan, from my own research, are two different entities. My own source and my own source of research of this came from a website called Glorian Publishing. So Glorian Publishing is agnostic. It's based on Gnostic teachings on Master Samael and War. So it's mainly Hebrew Kabbalistic teachings and also Theosophy teachings. So they speak about, and they show you two different ways on how you look at Lucifer and Satan. So Lucifer, if you look at where that name came from, let's begin just from where that name began. The name is a Latin name. If you look at the name before it became Latin, because the previous civilization was the Greek civilization. So we find language just gets translated to a different civilization. So from Greek it became Latin. So before it was known as Lucifer in Latin, in Greek it was known as Christophorus or Christopher. That's where the name Christopher came from in English. So Christophorus, that name you can break it in two, where you have Christ and Phorus. So Christ being Christ consciousness or light, Phorus meaning also light as well. So it also goes to the same phosphorus in chemistry. If you look at phosphorus, it's what we use in our matchstick to light fire itself. So phosphorus has a way of bringing fire, or what can I say, lighting something up, or light bearer, if you can say that. Satan itself, from a Kabbalistic point of view, what it meant was the ego itself, the I consciousness. So the more I lean towards Owen, or the ego, the more satanic I am. That's why you find Satanists, when they say hail Satan, they're not worshipping some guy down there. They're worshipping themselves. They're glorifying themselves, the flesh.
So every narcissist is Satan.
Yes, we all have satanic forces. We all work with it to some degree because we have a physical body itself.
Okay.
Because Satan as a force itself is just the physical dimension, and that's why you find this is his dimension in one way or another. Like we're trapped. The soul is trapped in this flesh itself, and the whole point of spirituality is the flesh is fighting with the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So in Rosicrucians, or I have understood from a guy known as Dr. Robert Gilbert, you see the picture of Christ being crucified, where he had two thieves on two sides. So we had one thief who accepted him, and the other thief denied him. That's the same thing with these two forces, where you have Lucifer and Satan. So we have Satan on one side, or Ahriman forces, and Lucifer on one side. So being also Lucifer itself, meaning it also means that you're too out of touch with reality. In Dr. Robert Gilbert, how he explains it, he was saying, if you're too Luciferic, you become too out of touch with reality. You're one of those people who you think you're special, you have so many supernatural capabilities. You're not able to pay your bills on time. You're not able to manage your finances on time, because you're too much leaning on the spiritual side. And then there are those people who are too, what can I say, grounded. They detach from the spiritual side. They are focused mainly on facts and data. So they only rely on the intellectual mind, or let me say concrete reasoning itself. They don't associate with the spiritual side completely. So those are two complete opposite sides of a person. So in that picture of Jesus Christ is in the middle. So it's a matter of having a balance of both forces, whereby you're spiritual, and at the same time you're also realistic and grounded as well. So yeah, this is now understanding Christianity not from an exoteric point of view, but from an esoteric point of view, whereby you read the Bible not from a literal point of view, but from a metaphorical point of view, whereby the aspect of Christ, instead of being a literal person, could actually be an aspect of ourselves, whereby Satan, instead of being a physical person, could actually be an aspect of ourselves. So, because one thing people have to realize, those prophets back then, or the disciples, when they're writing the book, they were being persecuted, and even the king at that time realized, if you can't beat them, join them. So because they've crucified this person who they said they crucified, apparently I hear he was hanged, not crucified. Then you can just imagine that in that timeline where you try to kill somebody, he resurrects. People now start believing in that guy's teachings. Then you, as a leader, what will you do? Will you now kill that person, or will you now decide, okay, you know what, I can't do anything about this. Let's see how government and religion can work hand in hand. And so when those people were writing those books, they were not able to blatantly give the truth. So they
But who wrote those books,
encrypted.
though?
That's a very good question.
Because the book of Luke wasn't written by Luke, was it?
Oh,
The book of Matthew wasn't written by Matthew.
Okay.
The Gospel of Matthew, right?
The Gospel of Matthew.
Because this is Gospel according to.
Okay, according to Matthew.
So this is a story according to the perspective of
Matthew.
So then who wrote it if it's not Matthew?
How do you know it was not Matthew?
Because if Matthew wrote it ingekuwa like inajulikana ni yeye, but right now if the question I've asked most people, most theologians to be precise, is who wrote those Gospels? And the answer I got wasn't them. It was people who are inspired by God. That's the answer I got.
People who are inspired by God. Those disciples now.
No, they're not those disciples.
So it wasn't even them.
It's not even them.
Okay.
Am I getting somewhere? I'm just asking the why.
Okay. I didn't know about that. Me, from the knowledge that I have, was that during St. Paul, when Christianity was the Nazarenes, if I can say, were still in charge of the Christian movement back in St. Paul's time, it was still pure, per se, if I can say that, until when St. Paul passed away and the Jesuits took over, they sort of twisted the book into sorcery, if I can say that, per se. Now, I don't know how what exactly they twisted. I think I'm still trying to discover that myself. Why? Maybe because that's the only way they can control humanity and always put them in a spell, if you can say, per se.
Because the idea is, I think it was political mostly. Yeah, but what I can say is, check this out, yeah? Which are the two most pivotal Christian geographical positions in the world? Like when we're talking about Islam, we know it's Mecca and Saudi. So when we talk about Christianity,
Okay, for me nowadays, I don't like looking from a religious point of view.
no, we're looking at just the objective.
Okay, yeah. So what I've gathered so far is like there are portals in this planet, and those portals are where energy centers are coming from. I don't know from which dimension or star system they are in. I haven't done as much study as there is to it. All I know is that the government has military bases in each and every part of where these portals are. And I can say, yeah, Mecca is one of them. There's some in West Africa. There's some in South America. There's some in the Middle East. There's some in Egypt.
But let's go back to what I was trying to learn.
Okay.
Remember when you were talking about how the religion has been politicized rather than the Bible. You see, because I believe the Bible has some true facts in it. There's some books that are missing. Why are some books missing? Like the Ethiopian Bible has 88 books. Why does this version of the Bible, King James, has 66? If you look at the Catholic Bible, it's different. So something's amiss here. So back to what I was saying about it being political, and I asked you, which are the main pivotal points when you're talking about Christianity? The same way in geographically that is. The same way when you're talking about Islam, we can like link it to Mecca and say it's Saudi. What about Christianity? Can we say at least it's Rome because of the Catholic Church?
Yeah.
And then maybe another one is maybe the Church of England. Sindio? Because wao ndo walianza kutoa hizi different sects na nini, right? So apparently these two locations is where Christianity wasn't there. Christianity evolved in the Middle East.
Really?
Where is Jerusalem, bro? Where did Jesus?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, you're right, actually, from a geographical point of view.
You get it?
Yeah.
So how did these people, like ili shiftaje kutoka hapa kote all the way mpaka huko to a point that right now Catholics are the ones who are controlling part of Christianity, and now also the Church of England is controlling another sect of Christianity. Am I going somewhere? That's what I'm saying. It was politicized.
Yeah, it was politicized. You're going somewhere with it, because even it's something that I've heard and also read that Christianity is borrowed religion from Egyptian religion. They just borrowed and made Christianity out of it.
I don't think it can. Let me tell you why. I don't think. Because before Christianity, there was the Jews. You get? So Jesus was a Jew. He was sent to the Jews to tell them about the gospel. You get? So the reason why I usually tell people, study all religions. There's a signature, especially the Abrahamic religions. There's a signature here. You get, kila mtu anajua Moses, everyone knows at least Abraham, everyone knows Adam and Eve. So there's a signature. This storyline has to have an ending. And let me give you another fun fact. There were over 150,000 prophets who came. God sent a prophet to every race. It's just that the main prophets are the ones who brought major changes. Think of, why does every indigenous group have their own version of God? A creation story for that matter. The Kikuyus have Gikuyu and Mumbi. They were created by God. This one was created by these 9 daughters da. Story imeisha hapo. Almost everyone, like the signature iko hapo. It's just that sasa the main prophets ndo walikuja kuleta the big changes. Because you cannot tell me humans wanaweza kakaa thousands and thousands of years without spirituality. Like they had to kick in. God had to remind them, yo, by the way, yo, I'm here. Unaget? So nilikuwa nimeambiwa hivyo, and then I was like, okay, it makes sense. Because now you start to piece up some puzzles. There are like tribes that I've never met. Lakini unaona, creation theory, they're almost the same. Like those people from Amazon, there's a reason why they like connecting with the earth. They know, even Red Indians, they like connecting with the earth. Once they kill a goat, they know, yo, this is like something that has been taken out of the ecosystem, and they know how to appreciate it. There's a system of life. Get, how do they know? You cannot tell me it's evolution, you cannot see. Spirituality ni kitu imekuwa ever since. So even the people who are saying religion is part of spirituality, whether we like it or not. You get? So I do not judge humans. I just know people work on a different perspectives. Unaona? But I don't think atheists wanajua anything about spirituality yet.
Yeah, but I think with time, I think human beings are getting to a point where it's actually going to be possible for scientists or intellectuals to now actually be able to measure or quantify the spiritual aspect. I can give an example. Like for example, in the Pranic Healing Foundation, they actually have a machine that can take a picture of your aura, and you can actually see the colors that is emanating out of your own physical body.
I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah, but now the machine is messed. Now there's no technician locally here who can be able to fix it. So maybe they have to send the machine back to the US, or we get somebody who can come here and.
Oh, it's something that you guys have?
Yeah, it's already something that's already here.
Okay.
So now I was just thinking, even when you study, there's some schools like Duke University, which actually they're studying this kind of phenomena. If universities can now begin to, I don't know, invest in such kind of machines.
For research.
Yeah, for research capacity, I think that would be a good step. It would be a good step in now bridging this understanding. Because I've come to understand that everything has an electromagnetic field. Everything, even this microphone itself.
No, technically, actually, literally, it has ukifungua utaona tu magnets.
Oh, really?
So it's a microphone, bro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So literally, yeah. So it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense because even the law of attraction, magnets, it has a field on its own. Sindio? Have you ever felt there's a feeling? Have you ever felt this feeling where you sit with a person and you immediately start repelling this person? Or you start like repelling away from them. There's just a feeling you don't want to stay next to them. Kabisa. And then later on you come and find out, oh, there's a reason why.
Yeah, there's always, your intuition is never wrong.
I don't know. Bro, for some reason I've always been that guy.
Yeah.
For some reason I've always I'm not even, nowadays, even my friend Rooney Kama, the one I was telling you about my partner, Like, I
Yeah,
think
he seems to be very intuitive.
exactly. Even him, he has that same. You saw him at the Ian's birthday,
Yeah,
right?
Ian's, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
me and him share the same thing. Like there's a way he can tell, "Hey, Nasir, you're overthinking." Like he knows that I've like analyzed every possible scenario. Even Dante right now, for the small time he has been producing me, it's like right now he's in touch with
With
my mind.
where your
Like
mind
there's a
is.
way he will know that, however overboard this thought can be, Nasir has already thought it. Like bro, there's some case studies. I mean, there's some, sorry, not case studies, scenarios that I've thought in my head that are way extreme, but I will still take them under consideration in the sense of what if it happens? How can I prepare for this?
Okay.
You get? So I'm going home right now. It's safe, I don't know. What if someone just kidnaps me and then?
Yeah. I've also been thinking about that. But then now when you comes back to something that I've been practicing right now on manifestation, thoughts are very powerful. Like back then when I used to be in campus, I used to be one of those people used to carry nunchucks in my bag.
I remember.
Weapons. You're always preparing yourself, like
Oh
in
fuck, I
case you get
remember.
caught.
I remember,
Yeah.
man.
You're always imagining
Core
those scenarios
memory.
of you're always imagining some scenarios where you're going to be mugged or something like that. But I came to realize you're actually attracting those scenarios into your life instead of you physically preparing yourself. Maybe you can even avoid those things just by mentally being in a very positive state whereby you are only thinking of the best possible outcome. So the only thing that you're only attracting to your life is just the best possible outcome that is to come.
Yeah, I get you. Thoughts are very powerful. I think, to be honest, especially the moment I'm trying to think of an idea, that's when I can feel thoughts are very powerful. From the thought process to the planning to the implementation. Hey, bro, that's some next level energy. You get me?
Yeah.
And there's a conundrum. Jordan Peterson talked about founders. There's a curse with founders.
There's a curse with founders.
Yeah, people who are the innovators of things. Like the guy who innovated the television. He innovated this thing 15 years way before the first TV came to be produced. And the reason why he was get kept, I've forgotten his name, and the reason why he was get kept is because the guys who are in radio, the corporate market then, knew this would be a game changer. So what did they do? They went and told the courts that this guy cannot continue with his invention. They went and poured, I don't know, close to 30 lawyers. But this founder had no lawyers. He was starting poorly. He was beaten by the system. He was beaten by court cases. He was beaten by a lot, because you know how corporate can be greedy, and they even have money just to splash on lawyers anyhowly. So this guy eventually died, and later on this radio guys just tweaked that patent kidogo and they ran with the idea. So the curse of the founder. Or even you can look at it like this, in the sense that you have found some venture capitalists to invest in you, and you're the founder of this product, this innovation. Now, your work is just that you have innovated this stuff. How do you back end your sales? How do you back end your marketing? How do you back end how to get this product out to the market? See? So that's where these venture capitalists come in. And now they will tell you how to control this product based on their know-how of the market. And because you're the innovator, there's that ego of, no, this is my product. This is exactly how it has to work.
You're the vision behind it.
Exactly. And now, since these venture capitalists are like, dude, we have invested money in this. This guy has X amount of shares which are already minority. You get? What do? They kick you out. The same way they did with Steve Jobs. You get? They don't share their ideas. They are protecting their money. So what I say, you know what? Fuck Owen. Again, the founder's curse. I get? Like, and then I'll give you a third scenario. This is the saddest. You will struggle to find a breakthrough in the market. So, and your product will fail. Then someone will just be slightly inspired by you and make a better product. Now look at MySpace. MySpace was the entry to social media. Then what came after MySpace? Facebook. Boom. No one even fucking remembers MySpace today. But that was the pioneer. You get?
True.
A founder's curse, bro. That's why sometimes you really have to be scared.
I mean, I think it depends. It depends on your level of detachment. Like for me, I came to a point where when it comes to creativity or creation, I've come to the point where I've come to realize the more you give, the more you receive. So even though you give out something and an idea, somebody takes up an idea and makes something better out of it, then I think all well and good for just society itself. And for me, I just look at if I'm able to provide something that is beneficial, even though I'm not the one behind it, at least I've made some small impact. I know at some point something else good will come along the way. Something I learned: what you give, you get back. So if you have that perspective, you're never losing either way. And if you're never losing, you're never lacking creativity. You're not in that scarcity mindset. Because I think if you're in that scarcity mindset, you're the kind of person who grips to ideas. Like you said, this is my idea. Like I want it to be the person who's behind this idea. But if you're a person who's very abundant, you're like, it's okay. Something else will come up. And yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'll figure something else to do. So I think it's all about a mindset. Even the guy, I don't know, for MySpace, I don't know why the guy is, but I feel like when it comes to creativity, it's unlimited. You shouldn't even look at it as if you can only create one thing and it ends there.
To be honest, that's what I believe. If you're actually an innovator, ideas tend to come. So what I've actually learned to do nowadays is take the flex out of your idea being ripped off from you. Remember how I told you how I walked for that idea, that front seat I'm telling you, the app I told you. Every creator in Kenya knows me because of that app. Yo, what's up? Let's monetize this. You can. This is the new front of making money. You're a creator. Look, this is exclusivity. This is how you can make money. Again, if people can rip you off an idea and make them theirs, but they haven't envisioned it as you, I think bado kona time. You're still ahead.
Yeah, and people can never be you. You know, as long as you're being your true self, you're being very unique. Even though somebody tries to steal what you're doing, they can never do it like the way you can do it. So you're always gonna be in your own race. It's not like you're trying to be somebody else. You're just being yourself. So that person who's trying to copy you is being inauthentic.
And there's even being part of someone's greatness is also an achievement. Sijui kama unaget. People want to take the greed of the founder ama nini zi. If you are today wewe ukitengeneza kitu and me I play number 5 in that position. Maybe me hata ni secretary wa project yote. If this thing bro sells for $1 billion, I was part of it. One way or another. I've made history. Watu waiangalia watu wanasema zizi. I have to be one of the top names. I have to be on that big table. Na fam. I would like to be honest. Kuna time flani Ian anasemanga by the way I want to do this project. I'm like, yeah. Okay bro, point me to that direction. Niambie tu kitu ndafanya. This is not me, but if you think there's a value I can produce, niambie tu pale. Same thing as Rune. Hey bro, mbona there's this thing that I've seen. Oh, we can, okay, sawa. Wait, tell me what I can do. Now that's when I step aside and see what I can do. Unaget? Mimi nikikuwa na idea nakuja nakwambia Owen, this is what I can do. Unaona? And then you tell me Nasser lead the way. So the idea is the same way Frasha came and told us there are not many people who know how to play their role. They want to get everything. CEO, founder, talent, influencer, you get comedian, radio presenter, uko X, uko kila mahali, you want to do it. Nah, fam. It's close to impossible. I swear to God, it's really close to impossible to work with that kind of a model. Unaona?
Okay.
And also working with the fact that you're taking everyone's sparks. Do you think everything, Steve Jobs had people who are making things for him? All he had to do is just raise money and say what was what. He wasn't, do you think he was going down to the technicals of how an iPod motherboard looks like?
No.
He doesn't know shit to do with that technicalities. You get? So yet after watu wenye wanajua, and he will tell them, look, I want this thing to look like this, like this, like that. Because I've been involved in production. I don't know anything to do with coding, but at least I went and studied on those frameworks. I knew exactly which framework I wanted nanini. And I told these developers, this is the flow chart, the design of that application. When someone signs in, it takes them to this slot. And then the designer also designed it. Because again, design is all about colors and themes. Siwezi kakosea hiyo. You see? So simple as that. You just have the money, pay people, story imeisha. So hapo ndo sasa unaitwa the innovator. It's not them. It's because you had the money, you paid for the service. Unaona? So it's different. So when you talk about creativity, I think it's that same, because kuna time I'm like, fuck, this guy stole my idea, and then like 2 more years I have a great idea kuliko hiyo. I'm like, why was I whining?
Yeah, you just bless that person. If somebody takes your idea, for me, I don't know, my thought form is I just bless that person, because I know something else will just come. You will never lack, because you don't have a scarcity mindset. You have an abundant mindset. You have a mindset of something will just come. Something will just come, and you're always just positive. Something will just come.
Okay, mine isn't about even a scarcity mindset. Mine is like, why are you fucking wasting time? Like, we could have worked together. Why are you wasting time and money kwenda kutengeneza kitu ni takataka? I have 2 years of research even before this prototype itengenezwe. Why don't you just come in? And the reason you don't want to come in with me is because you know I will have more stake than you. Na utataka control the whole thing. So that's the bad thing. I swear, if there's a point I'm going to reach in my life where I will have good money to just invest in people and not think about the logistics of shit, bro, I'm going to enjoy it.
The logistics, you've been telling me about this logistics. So logistics when it comes to the costs.
Like in the sense that, you see now, I have investors who I have to answer to. I told them, this is the model, this is what we're going to build, this is the model we are going to do. Nastalk, I gave them the ROI and everything. So them, they provided the money. How this thing was going to be set up, they didn't even have to worry about that. That was up to me. So I'm saying the day I will reach that level where I will have money to invest in other people's ideas, where I wouldn't worry, I'll just be, okay, can you make this work? Will it work this way? What are the margins? This is my ROI. Okay, perfect then. Here's the money. When after 2 months, the product is ready, I will come and inspect the place. Story imeisha. And then sasa kutoka hapo, let's discuss about how I'm going to get my money in my account. No. Look, you're free. Because one thing about innovation, you're right. You will always have an abundance of ideas. But I do believe once ikifika at a certain age, you cannot be as innovative as, because pia there are other youngins who are coming up with technologies. So they're also looking for problem solving way more than you on a larger scale. Sijui kama una get.
I mean, it depends. It depends on how, okay, me how I look at it. It depends on how you take care of this physical body itself.
Okay.
If, let's say, because a youngin is just somebody who has high testosterone. So he has to find an outlet of releasing that creativity. Actually, creativity and sexual energy, they go hand in hand. You cannot be creative if you don't have sexual energy. If you look at everyone who is creative, they have high sex drive. Those things go ziwendanga hivi.
No,
So it's just a matter of you, even being an old age, you're able to have the same sexual energy as a 25 or a 30-year-old. And that's just basically by retaining as much semen as you can and transmuting as much as you can. And not so many men are doing that. So that's why you find where their sexual energy or the testosterone levels it goes lower, they age quicker compared to somebody who actually abstain and retains and transmutes. Although it's a very difficult process. I can say by me, I also have my own challenges. I think
Sperm retention, bruv, is the most powerful thing on the planet.
Yeah, it is, and it's not
powerful.
Yeah, and it's not an easy thing. We can all say that. I don't know for you how your journey has been, but for me, I can say it has never been that easy. I've had my fair share of, let's say, porn addiction, if I can say that. For me, it was mainly the soft porn. There are these ones you watch in Telegram or I've never paid for the OnlyFans or whatever, but yeah, and I can tell a big difference from the way I am right now and the way I used to be back then. There's a big difference.
I think people are also waking up to the fact of that porn addiction stuff, because that's why I'm in that group, Americs. You see, the more you get in touch with your masculine side, that toxic masculinity they're calling, you come and realize a lot of the things you have been accustomed to is bullshit. Because remember, the people who are spreading misinformation about porn, you have to jack 3 times a day, it's healthy. It's not. But you remember those...
the ones who are saying up for prostate...
Yes, it helps prostate cancer, blah, blah, blah.
It's because we've never been taught how to transmute that energy. So you find it builds up on the sexual energy, and then at some point that build up now manifests physically as prostate. But you know there's some people who actually transmute sexual energy unknowingly.
Yeah.
You do it unknowingly as well.
That's why it explains a lot, bro. There's some women who are just, when you just look at them, they just look like, what do you mean? They're like a sex symbol, bro. Like they just radiate this sexual synergy in them. That's why they're like models. Models, there are certain types of models who will be put in certain poses that will be made to like capture that attention of a man in an erotic way. Look at even porn, how it is. They are those that, like, everything is by design. These people understand the psychology of humans. Ni kitu wamesomea, unajua. So even those background music, they are frequencies programmed to make you addicted to that stuff. So when you look at sperm retention, bro, that thing is way, way powerful, especially when you're talking about the testosterone. Oh, bro, I can't wait to go back to gym. I really can't wait to go back to gym, because sasa hiyo ndo imebaki. It's just that sasa once or twice you will be called to Thailand.
You'll be called to Thailand.
You know Thailand?
Yeah, I know Thailand.
Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. I get
it. Don't imagine a story.
Yeah, it needs an outlet. Like that's one thing I'm also coming to realize with this energy, because also at the end of the day, you cannot deny that you will not be attracted to the opposite gender when you see it walking past by. That will happen. So it's a matter of, instead of suppressing, for me, it's more of just being in touch with it.
Harnessing it.
Yes, harnessing it. Like you feel it and then you direct it somewhere else. Like you feel that energy here, but in a way, etherically, you direct it wherever you want. You want to direct it here, you want to direct it into something you're thinking about, an idea or something. So that's something I've been trying to practice a lot. And it's sometimes a bit tough, sometimes it's a bit easy. I think it depends. I'm still trying to understand, because I'm coming to realize with the Kundalini process when it's happening, it's normal to you to have those sexual, what can I say, drive where it becomes very, very high. So when it becomes very high, for me, what I normally do is I love poetry. I love to write, or I love to. So that's why I express it. I express it out. So I was even telling my friend, like if I see somebody like a beautiful lady, I would rather just write like how a beautiful lady is. Like instead of thinking of wasting that energy on a bed sheet, I now think of just let me creatively.
But I used to, you remind me, I used to do that, bro, kitambo. Like, man, I used to do that kitambo. I used to write a lot of poetry kitambo. I guess now growing up, nauna time, like there was a time, bro, I used to keep a diary of everything. What I saw in the gym, what I saw in uni, how I used to feel when my girlfriend used to be around. Like today, there's a powerful message, there's a powerful line of poetry I read. And it said, if you're not fed love with a silver spoon, you will learn to lick it off sharp knives. Jeez.
Okay.
That's sharp, eh? That's deep.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
So imagine, the thing with poetry is unajua ni emotion. It's emotion, you're converting it to words. Unaget na unaweka tu mahali. Speaking of, nafaa kurudi manze, nafaa kurudi. So man, there's a lot we have to do manze. Tumepatana on the right frequency kwanza. It was good that tulisplit kidogo. Tulienda our different ways, lakini sasa it's like ndo hiyo sasa tumeingia sharp. Tumepatana vizuri. So inshallah, me, you and Michelle, we are going to do great things.
Yeah, we will. I'm very, very excited. Very excited on what kind of change and on creativity and what kind of change we can bring in this industry. Yeah.
We're not giving anyone respect. We're not giving anyone respect, brother. We will earn a new kind of respect by giving none.
Okay, but there's still some people who I can give some respect to.
No, like tunaingia na that arrogance kind of thing. Like we're going to disrupt kila kitu. Like yes, we know this is how you guys have been making films.
Yeah.
But this is how we are going to make films. Unaget. Hatutafuata protocol zao sasa. You see, we're going to follow our own style and stuff. New innovation things. See? Yeah. So shukran. Thank you, bro, for coming.
Cheers.
It has been real, man.
Yeah, it's been real. And hope to do another one.
Definitely, round 2. Round 2.